Special guest and best-selling author. How are you today, Jennifer Clark Askew? And you have another amazing guest as you continue to bring in great guests on the program.
I am doing really, really well. Just got back from New York City. That was a whirlwind of a trip. Went up Monday evening, came back last night, and got to do a podcast up there that'll be released here pretty soon. Um, just had a great time. Got up today doing all kinds of things, and we are so lucky, or at least I feel lucky. Um, we've got Wayne Miller joining us today. He's out of the Boston area. He is an author of four books, but his first book is the one I really want him to tell us about because it's got so much exciting news behind it. I have the original, and I have the autographed copy, by the way. I also have it in Audible. I enjoyed it. Um, it is just a fascinating story. It's billed as the largest arson case in the history of the country for U.S. But I'm also going to say it's got to be one of the largest conspiracy cases for an arson that I can recall. And both Wayne and I have spent decades working arson type crimes all across the country and in our own field offices with ATF. So it's a heck of a story. He's also the author of a couple other books, including a children's book and a crime fiction. But he did Bang Boom Burn, which I want to put it out here because that's also true stories from his work with ATF. But Wayne, I'm gonna let you do the talking. Talk to us. Tell us what's going on with you.
Good afternoon, Jen. Good afternoon, Neil. Thanks for
Hi.
having me.
Yes.
Um, it's been a lot of fun. Since I left ATF already 25 years ago, coming
Wow.
up. And, I did the private side for almost 18 years. But the guy from the Boston Globe said he wanted to do a Sunday magazine article. And that's usually about 5 or 6 page spread. And then he said, I want to do a bigger project, like maybe write a book. And this is back in 2018. I started the very next day typing Burn Boston Burn. That was the last year the Red Sox won the championship in baseball. They were on in the background for about 140 games. And I typed, even so I was working on the private side, every night I got a chance. By Christmas, I had 171,000 words.
There you go.
Oh, wow.
So, that has to get reduced down and
Yeah.
worked over. And I did just come out with a new revision, which I'm proud to say reads much better than the one you have, Jen. You learn a lot in 6 years. I was
Yeah.
taking classes and talking to editors, and just hit that find button when you're doing a Word document.
Yeah.
And I put in was and were, and there was 3,200 was and wers. So I took out 1,500 and put in some action verbs instead.
That's a writer for you.
Yeah. And I learned some things over, young lady, she just bought my new book today. As a matter of fact, I'm going to deliver it on Friday.
Cool.
Her father was seriously hurt on October 2nd, 1982. And he came crashing through a roof. One of the fires set by this crew.
My
Uh,
goodness.
this
Huh.
crew of 9 guys were burning Boston, and they set eventually 264 buildings on fire in a 2 year span. And she contacted me via email, Facebook, and she told me a story about her life living with dad and her family's life. Um, I mean, she said his femur came right through his boot.
Uh,
Or if you can imagine that.
that's
And
that's
yeah,
Wow.
she was 14 years old at the time,
yeah.
and life changed dramatically. Dad couldn't walk for a long, long time, laying in a hospital bed in their living room, that type of thing, and just the effect it had on the family. Well, I put her words right in the book,
Yes.
so it gives it a little more feeling, a little more emotion, things like that. You know,
Yeah, it's personal, and it makes it more personal to you because at the time you're working the scenes and going after who's doing this, but now you're realizing the impact it has past just, a fire being fought and then being investigated. It really it sinks into you.
Right.
They always do.
We had two of the gentlemen who were hurt in that fire sat through two trials.
Wow.
They stayed in the courtroom every day, so I got to meet them and learn more about them and their injuries too.
Yeah. But you got to tell the story on what's happening with Burn Boston Burn, because you started out, and I'm going to use it nicely here, Wayne. You were peddling your book on your own about 7 years ago. Am I right?
Yeah, it is almost seven
About
years.
seven, and
Wow.
you reaching out to just whoever might be interested or that might know someone was interested. And we were all like cheering you on and hoping things would go good. And I know that you went to a lot of different, and still do, a lot of public signings, and just trying to get scheduled places. Um, I saw it on Amazon for a while being advertised. So how was that experience?
You know, Amazon. I spent a lot of money,
Yeah,
with Amazon ads, and the biggest months are always coming up towards Christmas,
yeah.
that type of thing. But typically, I've sold like 15, almost 16,000 copies of this book now.
Wow.
Yeah, I
And
mean,
what do you think was the biggest secret of selling 16,000 copies?
I think being out there, I've done 140 speaking events
Yes.
on this.
So that's what I think is the biggest thing for authors.
Yeah,
That's the multiplier effect. When you are out there pitching your stuff, the multiplier effect happens.
right, right. And just word of mouth gets around. I mean,
Mm.
the story Jen is getting towards is this screenwriter who grew up in the Boston area but lives in Hollywood. He went to a wedding in Tucson, or in Arizona, anyway,
Yeah.
and there was an ATF agent's wedding, and I don't even know who it is. He can't remember the name. And the agent said, "Hey, you're from Boston." He said, "Do you know the story?" And screenwriter Mike said, "No." So he went and bought the book and called me up within days. He said, "Look, I'm coming home to visit family." He said, "Can we have lunch?" And Mike is very energetic.
Oh,
He spoke for about 90% of the time at our lunch, and
well,
he loved the story. I mean, the writing sucked, but
that's
he
all
didn't
right.
he didn't say that. But the story is a good story. And he said, "Look, I have 6 producers right here on my phone. I'm heading back tomorrow." He said, "I can tell you within a week, I'm going to have at least one of these interested." And there's two of them. Two of them bought into it.
Wow.
They optioned the book, and then COVID hit. They were going to do like an 8-part series first,
Hmm.
and then after COVID, some things in the industry changed.
Oh yeah.
Now they're going to do a documentary and then the motion picture
Yeah.
on Burn Boston Burn. And Mike has been Mike McGrail is has been around. He's written things from Rizzoli and Isles. Remember that
Yeah.
Yeah.
show?
Yeah.
Um, Most recently, he was the screenwriter on The Rip with
Okay. I
Ben
just saw
Affleck,
that.
Matt Damon. Yeah, he's the one who wrote that. The Following with Kevin Bacon.
Yeah. I
Was
remember that show.
Oh man,
Yeah. Oh, that was a great show.
That was,
that was
You know it's coming back, right? It's
nasty.
coming.
That was nasty.
I heard it's coming back on Netflix. Is that true, or they're just playing
I
old?
just saw an advertisement for it, so it must be coming back on Netflix because I was watching Netflix night
Unless it
before
just
last in New
or
York.
unless it just went viral and they're just re-airing everything. You can't trust Netflix. So
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So what makes it unique though is when I wrote the book, Jen, you saw a lot of dialogue,
Right.
uh, but the bad guys.
Yeah.
And so after the arrests and stuff, and guys came over to the government side, I spent 200 to 400 hours with a couple of the individuals, prepping them for trials, debriefing them. We went to fire scenes and recorded what they did, who was there, the type of building, everything, no matter what the fire scene looked like. And the beauty of it is I have this professional, friendly relationship with one of the arsonists today. And that'll make the documentary and the movie much better.
oh
Much
yeah.
better.
He came to Hollywood with me. back
Yes,
in.
what you told me. One of the last times we happened to be speaking, you were telling me that you'd just gotten back from Los Angeles, and then we had to correct that and go, no, Hollywood.
Yeah, yeah. He came with me, and they filmed for the documentary, and he he does a great job because his memory is still sharp as anything.
And he's honest about what he did. He's not trying to pretend he didn't have anything to do with it. He's not trying to pretend other things happened and it wasn't really that way. He's forthcoming, and that's what you're supposed to be. So an acceptance of responsibility, which makes it easier to deal with people, and that helps. I mean, that's definitely a boon for the movie. You said a documentary to really lay that out, because you're talking, how many was it, 265 or something? How many fires?
264 buildings, and I don't
Mm.
even count. I don't even count the 100+ dumpsters they set on fire.
Oh, just the spare fires.
You
Uh,
know,
um, a- and imagine you had close to 10 or maybe it was more people involved in it. I mean,
we had nine
nine.
co-conspirators.
Oh, there you
Yep.
go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
What leads to an arsonist? What kind of
Oh,
DNA do they have?
oh man, that's a wide open question, Neil.
That's what I do is a wide open question. I don't want to go ask you about questions of the book. I'm going to pick your brain, you know?
I've had two other serial arson cases of
Yeah.
individuals. One heard voices, but I interviewed him 3 times, and he said the voices never told me to set fires.
Oh my
Hmm.
And
gosh.
if you want to talk about profiles,
Yeah.
normally we talk about white males between 18 and 25 who have relationship issues, and they have nothing in their resume for their high school yearbook or anything. Well, this character went to Boston College,
Wow.
and he was in the Navy during the end of Vietnam, and they kicked him out during Vietnam, and we don't
Hmm.
know why exactly. But he did hear voices because I I did a interview. I tried to interview him at his house. It was a small ranch, small Cape Cod style, and his bedroom was the living room, and the walls were covered with foam and plywood, and he had a TV 4 feet in front of him and 4 feet to the left of him, both on the same channel, and he had headphones on. I think he was trying to keep the voices at bay, you know.
Yeah.
So we never, motivation wise, he burned churches and VFW American Legions. So
Wow.
yeah,
Wow.
so there's something to.
Why a VFW American Legions?
Well, I think that part had to do with the Navy. you know,
Yeah.
that I believe. Church wise,
Still mad about the whatever it is he thought. But that's
yeah,
I interviewed a lot of them. A lot of mine were in it for the profit. Arson for profit was a lot of the people I caught. Um, had a couple of wacko kind of thinking. Demons inside the church, which is why they burn it to the ground. Um,
yeah,
and they saw the demons inside when they walked past it in the middle of the night. I was like, you just found yourself walking past this church at 2 o'clock in the morning
yeah.
while you were toting a gasoline can. Okay.
Exactly.
That's right. Now, Neil, these guys in the book, 8 of them actually set fire to buildings. The ninth one joined the conspiracy for other reasons.
How
But
hard is it to track an arsonist?
whoa, well, you have to figure out first that you had an arson.
Yeah.
And if it's multiple fires, like a serial arsonist, you have to recognize a series.
Yeah.
And 2 cases, the one I mentioned, that one took 2.5 years. This one conspiracy with these 9 guys took over 2 years. Um, it, Trying to figure out their motive. You were asking about motive. I mean, they set their fires because we had a tax cutting measure where Boston lost 600 firefighters in less than a year and a half.
Yeah.
So they said, we're going to burn, and this was the real motive. We're going to burn in a twisted version of Robin Hood until everybody screams and the mayor and commissioner come up with money to rehire these 600 laid off guys, and 22 firehouses were closed just in the city. But this was a statewide issue. Every town had some cutbacks. So they just started, they wanted the press to pick it up, and that's what they did. But then it became screw with the investigators. It became nighttime entertainment, adrenaline junkies. You know, Jen, you mentioned
Yeah.
they went for a ride one night, not intending to set anything, and they came across a building that looked right. Let's do it.
Yeah.
You
Well, we got nothing else to do right now.
know.
Oh my goodness. Um, so you're doing pretty good with that. Do you have any idea on a release? They have a release date, a release month coming up or anything?
No, the latest thing I had an email with one of the producers, and he grew up just north of Boston. And the
Mm,
other producer, who's half owner of a production company out there, that's a pretty good gig. He grew up in East Boston, so they all came from here. But
nice.
no, the best he told me is right now they're selling it to Netflix or somebody, a
Nice.
streaming service, and they're going to be picking a director sometime soon. Once they pick the director, the screenplay's been written,
Yeah.
and I'm
Okay.
going to get a copy of that pretty soon, which will be really neat to see.
That will be awesome to see. I know
It,
that will be.
it'll be like real when I have it in my hands.
Yeah.
And so the director picks the actors.
Right.
And then, I'm going to be executive producer for both things. And, we have to get the equipment, locations. We have a large studio right here just south of Boston. And they're
Mhm.
going to do some of it there and some of it live around Boston and probably in LA too.
I
So,
think it's gonna be fantastic, and
yeah.
I got a feeling there's some Boston boys that want a part in your movie because there's a lot of really good actors from the Boston area.
Well, yes. I'm surprised it didn't bite already. We know that screenwriter Mike is
Mm.
good friends with Damon and Affleck. Um, I went to the Wahlbergs they have a nice restaurant just south of Boston.
Mhm.
And way back in 2019, when the book first came out, I had 4 books and I
Yeah,
had a letter in each book, individual. One
yeah,
for Mark, one for Paulie, who ran the restaurant,
yeah,
one for the Donnie, and
done.
one for Mama because
Yeah.
Mama was the boss.
Oh, yeah, she was. Yeah,
And I never heard back. I was
mm,
shocked. Come on, guys.
yeah. Well, but now they'll probably be coming back going, I remember this book. They're going, yeah, what happened to you? But
Well, they grew up in Dorchester, part
yeah,
of a Boston neighborhood where
yeah,
26 of these fires were set
in Dorchester, yeah.
as they
Well,
grew up.
well, I tell you what, if you happen to get to meet the Mr. Affleck,
Yeah.
um, you need to call me, and I need to come up and spend the day.
Yeah.
But
Those guys have done some incredible work. So
yeah, that would be awesome. And now, when did you write the Bang Boom Burn? Because
that came out.
that covers ATF. I mean, and that if you want to explain the title, that really,
Sure.
yeah, that
Um,
is it.
that came out in 2021 and that has not been revised. It came out, I think, pretty good.
Yeah,
And it's 21 short stories, and then there's a QR code that gives you a 20-second story.
yeah,
The first 3, 4, 5, I fell into a 46 machine gun seizure here in Massachusetts.
yeah.
And I fell into it. It happened to be the largest M16 seizure in New England.
Mm,
And then I almost got buried alive in Maine one day. I wasn't sure I was going to make it home.
yeah.
Had no idea where I was. It was getting nighttime, and an undercover thing went real bad, and I had no backup whatsoever.
Oh my
Yeah.
goodness.
I was scared. And
I'm
Yeah,
sure.
yeah.
when I
And you're
when
glad
I
glad not to be in Maine.
yeah,
Yeah.
when I found my way to the hotel because I had no idea where I
Mm.
was, I have senseless direction. Not a good sense of direction. Senseless. I can find my way any.
Senseless direction.
And I got to the hotel and I threw up. And
Yeah,
but after the gun cases in there, there's 2 bombing cases.
yeah,
One killed a Boston cop. The other one's a strange case. A 30-year-old American Indian woman dating a 50-year-old white gentleman. Her family really didn't like him, and he decided to send 6 Christmas packages to her family. 4 of them blew up, killing 5 people.
I remember that
Yeah.
incident. Yeah, and hearing guys that it went to it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and then about 14 or so more arson cases of all different types. The arson for profits,
yeah.
reverse stings. I don't know. Did you ever get
Yeah.
involved with the reverse sting?
Actually, before I became a CFI, I did one in '96,
Yeah,
and that worked out pretty good. And the Atlanta ATF was able to arrest the actual person who was contracting everything, and working it all out. So that worked out, and it was an arson setup, but it was a very interesting kind of how it was doing and how the money was going to go on that. So
Yeah.
it worked out really really well. And that was like that just made me want to be a CFI even more. And
Right.
yeah, but one other case that you worked that's really really interesting, and I know that you're just a part of the group, and the anniversary wasn't too long ago. The station nightclub where Whitesnake was playing, and a lot of people lost their lives. I believe 100 is the
100 even.
Wow.
yeah,
Yeah.
and that mean there's the video that was shot while it was happening, just because of the way just the event that night was big, so people were there with their cameras and their video and everything going on. But are you looking at doing anything with that, or is that just too painful or hard to deal with?
There is a great book by one of the attorneys out. And I can't beat his book. I can't remember the name right now.
Okay.
But the video that people saw was actually the TV station was there
Yeah.
doing promotion.
Yeah.
And I grew up in the town right next to that, and my sister lives in that town. And it, 100 deaths in Rhode Island. Virtually everybody knows somebody who's
Yeah.
famous. So,
Everybody was, yeah,
yeah.
tied in some way. Um, when I was running the arson training program for ATF's Academy, the way I would start the class out, Wayne, is a lot of the students would get there about 7:15 or 7:20. And so at 7:25, we start class at 7:30. So at 7:25, I would turn on that YouTube video of the party going on and everybody inside at the bar, and they would stop and they start watching what's happening on the screen. And I would let it run for about 13 minutes total, because that's long enough for them to see how bad and tragic this is. So when I turned it off, I had everybody's attention in that classroom, and I made it really, really clear. ATF was there, who was there, which was you, and
No,
then
no,
then we
actually,
started learning about fire.
let me interrupt you for a second. I had retired,
Yeah,
and I got retained by the owners of the
right.
club. And then they said, "Oh, we don't need you because we know what happened. We only have $1 million coverage."
Yeah, and that's sad, and then the
Yeah.
messed up thing. Yeah, we just like I said, I wanted them to, yeah, how it is. Students are like they're all ready to come in for the gun and the drugs and the stuff and the
Yeah.
machine guns. And so when you start off the fire classes and teach them about arson and investigating for a week, you want them to understand complex investigations and understand the depth of what you have to go through. And I just always found that that particular YouTube video captured everything they needed to know
Yeah.
in that short few minutes. And like I said, I had their attention, and we could go on for teaching them then.
So Wayne, so basically, have you been asked yet to be like talking about any of these serial killers and arson and done any like appearances where you're breaking things down?
Oh yeah. I mean, I do a lot of teaching
Yeah.
Well, what about
events.
like on the like the true crime shows and stuff like that? Have you done been asked yet? Any of those?
Uh, I've been on a couple, but they haven't gotten in too deep. Like you've even asked a couple great questions already about, how do you find them? How do
Yeah, my
you,
concern would be is it's so easy to arson now because ultimately you can make it a technical issue. You could do some sort of thing, and you can make, and especially depending on a house, especially brush fires and all those things, that you can make it so that it's going to be an arson situation. What about all these fires that are coming out? And then somebody else says, "I'm just going to put this house on fire now too because I won't get caught at all." I mean, that's really sick mind, but that could happen.
you should look into the LA fires, the Palisades fire from last year.
Yeah.
I actually located the warrant from ATF online,
Yeah.
and it is so interesting that they arrested this individual who set a fire up in the woods, up in the mountains, and it migrated underground, and eventually destroyed so much of the houses and
Palisades.
yeah, Palisades.
Yeah.
And it's so interesting, Neil, to see that. And they got that person through all sorts of electronics, and not always cameras. They got it from his cell phone, his car. They got it from all sorts of things, which I didn't have the benefit of
Yeah.
during Burn Boston Burn. We had none of that.
Yeah.
All right. So are you ready to be a celebrity? That's my final question. And Jennifer, are you ready to be a celebrity?
I liked a
Always.
little of it. How about you, Wayne?
I can do a little bit. I just don't want to be able to have to hide my face when I'm walking down the street. I don't think it's ever going to happen that way.
So you never know what if the movie becomes this big hit and then bam, then you have another movie and they want you to write more books and they want, that's going to happen. And
Well,
I think
I'm hoping my fiction book actually goes into something. The fiction book is really good for some sort of maybe an 8-part series, you know.
Yeah.
all
And
right. So you gotta wish it and want it and just keep going out and selling your books. So that was an interesting tip you brought up about Amazon ads. You're lucky you could run them. I had one client that they let the flood go out and you could just keep plugging money in, and then other authors won't even hit anything because Amazon is either they're going to spend your ad money or they're not going to spend it all, and your ad return is not as good as you running like Facebook ads or certain things because you can kind of stick to a budget and be able to come up with some success. When you run Amazon ads, if they let the floodgates go, look out. There's going to be a big
Yeah.
ad spend. You're going to have to take those same people who bought that book and make them read your second book, your third book, your fourth book, because once you get them as a reader, you need to get them out there. So, everyone that is watching and listening to this show needs to go and give 5-star reviews to both Wayne and Jennifer. It's
Thank you.
very simple. You didn't buy from Amazon, still going to help them. Go ahead, click that 5-star, and then buy the book.
that's
Yeah.
That would
right.
be kind of separate, but that's what they look at as algorithms. So I did some more research on it. If let's say you have 400 views and not many are written, you're going to rank higher than somebody who has only 200 views. It's just
Yeah. It's
it's the
crazy.
nature of the beast. And
It's
Wayne, where can
exactly
we good? What were you gonna say?
go ahead. You're exactly right. You know.
I mean, it's all about getting out there. And if you ask and then give, they'll keep giving you more opportunities. So, Wayne, based on your success as an author, where can people find more information on you and purchase your book?
Oh yeah, go to Burn Boston Burn, all one word, burnbostonburn.com. And I have a whole stack of books in my house right now. And I personally sign each one and mail them out. The updated version of Burn Boston Burn's not on Amazon yet. I'm trying to get it up right now, but
Mm.
it's not there. So you get it directly from me, and I have color pictures, and I sign them. Amazon, I can't sign those.
I love it. See, but go check it out. And Jennifer, where can we purchase your book?
You can find Becoming Fire at Amazon, or you can find it with me. It's my name. It's jenniferclarkesq.com. I will sign the books. I'm going to throw in a couple of little stickers and things that we've gotten for the book. And I like talking to you if you want to reach out to me through my website.
All right.
You got it.
All right. You're
Thank you.
listening and watching The Neil Haley Show, and we'll be back.